Hey, good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Piper Academy Network. This is the Morning Market Report. I'm Army Piper. Guys, altcoins had a big rush overnight. Nice rally. IOTA up 44% right now. I see it right there over my shoulder. Right there. Right there. That's the one. Yeah, we got ONDO up 26.1%. A lot of altcoins making some big moves, but we're starting to see some pullbacks this morning already. Some alts already giving back some of those big gains. And it looks like on the regular TradFi market side, we are getting a little bit of a sell-off today also. Guys, how long is this altcoin market going to last? What is next for Bitcoin? We're going to be looking at all this and a whole lot more with special guest FD White with us. And guess who's back? Back again. It's OC Guy. Black Friday sale is over. So, guys, we're going to break it all down for you today. Great panel lineup and a great show. Let's do it. Class is in session. Let's go, guys. So, yeah, overnight, welcome, guys. Overnight, we did have a nice move in some altcoin movements. Bitcoin still heading down towards that key level of support that I talked about yesterday on the show. We're going to be taking a look at that. And but to everybody in the chat right now, welcome to the Morning Market Report here on Piper Academy Network. I'm glad to have you guys here. We did drop a poll in the chat today. It says, why do you guys buy altcoins? To make gains, period. That's why. That's the only reason why. To make more money, to buy more Bitcoin, or is it that you're just a degen and you love to gamble and your name is Buck? Guys, let me know in that poll. I would love to know why everyone buys their altcoins. So is it to make money to spend so that you can buy $13 dozen of eggs, or is it to buy more Bitcoin so you can, leave money for your grandchildren to survive on? But guys, I'm not doing the show by myself today. I do have a great panel. FDY OC with me today. OC, welcome back. First of all, you've been gone for a hot minute with this Black Friday event going on over there with Chart Prime. So welcome back. I'm glad to have you here. I'll let you go first, and then I'll talk to FD White, because FD White, co-host of the Nightcap, we got to talk.
That's amazing. I mean, I think it's for that warm welcoming. Also, I see the chat, guys. Thank you so much. I mean, it's been crazy. It's been crazy, but also very, very fun because we have a bunch of new updates, bunch of new tools, especially the ready for automation tools like the strategy builder. I've been waiting for that for a long, long time. Just guys, if you don't know, I do have an ongoing bot. I will also be showing that in here. Maybe just towards the end of the class, maybe Monday and Friday, just to keep an eye on how that bot is doing and how it's playing out. Other than that, man, I've been living under a rock till yesterday. I was not even looking at Bitcoin. It seems like it's retracing to a safe area, so a support area. But still, I mean, I'm a little bit lost. It seems like altcoin season is getting started and I'm missing it. I don't know. On my side, I do altcoins just like Pokemons, right? I just collect them.
Gotta catch them all. OC's that guy, you open up his portfolio and you're like, oh, is this the market cap? And he goes, no, that's my actual portfolio. FD White, what's up, bro? How you doing today, man?
Oh, I'm doing good, man. Watching some of my trades reverse on me. But we'll see if how long or how low some of these coins go. Hopefully we can start finding some bottoms here. So just checking it out, man. Happy to be here, man, to support the Morning Market Report.
I appreciate you, bro. So you guys had Blockchain Crusader on last night, and great show, by the way. But there's a lot of tokens moving right now that are like his forte. He loves those like, for example, HBAR. He's got to be celebrating right now with what HBAR did overnight. So your thoughts on that? You got any input on that? Or what are some of your alts that you have as, just personal favorites that are really moving right now?
So, yeah, he was definitely happy. Seems like he came with a bit of a bounce last night. You know what I mean? Because a lot of the coins that he loves are bouncing a lot. But ONDO, I've been talking about ONDO for a while over on the Nightcap. So ONDO is probably the one that's outperforming everything right now. It's getting a little bit of a read, but we're still.
That's one of my 6.
ONDO is I'm very bullish on ONDO.
Yep, I am too. Let's go over and take a look at the Bitcoin chart. Then we'll come back and knock out the news. I just wanted to show people where we are right now on Bitcoin. That way, when you guys come back to do your take on Bitcoin, it's a little bit broken up there. So let's go over and take a look at that, and I'll show you what I'm watching on Bitcoin right now, guys. This is the level down here that I've been talking about. It's off of this volume node. You can see we got a nice big volume node over here. Little gap in right now, which is where we're coming down through. On the volume node, and then we have this zone here, which is coming in at about 92,400. This upper white band here is the upper white band of a anchored VWAP. So I am watching this little area here for the bounce. It would also be inside of the 3D trend. If we actually move over here to the Piper Sniper kit, there is also a fib line coming in right at that level with, oh, let me get that draw tool. There we go. Right there is one of the fib lines from the dynamic fibs that Chart Prime built into this indicator, the Piper Sniper kit for me. And so we do have that coming in right there on top of the dynamic reactor. And that's the actual pulling from this pullback point here after the run up and pullback. That is where I anchored this VWAP at. And we actually have the actual VWAP, which is the volume weighted average price. This is the average price right now. And you can see here we touched there and we touched there. So the average price running through this whole area coming in right there at about 92,400. That's going to be the area that I'm watching the most right now. It is showing a continuation on the 4-hour of the oscillator ribbon. We do have money flow turning a little bit red. You can see that right there. That money flow is turning red on the 4-hour. But volume's looking pretty decent. So I'm thinking that once we get a little reset here, let's check out the daily real fast just to get an idea here, because I want to see how the oscillator is looking here. Is it just about done with its, a spit off? No, we can still come down in other ways here. You can see we keep creating divergences here over and over and over on the daily. That's these red lines running down here on the oscillator. Money flow is pulling back a little bit on the daily also, guys. So, and the volume is in the red. So we could, if we lose that 92.4 range, we've got to resort back to this chart that I talked about last week when I said, here's the levels, guys. And the levels on this one are actually running all the way down to about $80,000 to $81,000 because we've got a lot of lines on here, and I'll explain what they are. This was a single point here of volume node, the big spike there. This is a zone of volume. This is another spike of volume there, okay? Coming in right with the quantum reactor. So that first line in the sand, if we lose the $92,000 to $91,000 range, first line in the sand is the quantum reactor coming in line at $89,600, $89,500 range. If we lose that, we've got a value area low coming in right here. That is the value area low of this entire run. After that, guys, I think we have a fair value gap. And this fair value gap is this big yellow block here. I think we can clean right through that, come down to the higher time frame VWAP here, and then touch into what used to be, or what is now, the CME gap. And that CME gap we've been talking about for a while. So a pullback to that level would be a pretty substantial pullback. But when we take a look at this, just give it some perspective here. Pull that down to there, guys. That's a 22% move. That is normal in a bull market, in a bull run for pullbacks and consolidation and retracement. So just wanted to show that. We're going to go check out the news, but FD, get your chart ready because we're going to come back and let you put in your input on Bitcoin, and then we're going to talk about the alts, guys. We got to talk about the alts. They're the big star today, as FD White was on that thumbnail talking about those, So let's go check out the news here, guys, and let's talk about the economic data that's coming out this week. Let's go to here. There we go. Guys, fear and greed right now sitting at 76. We are still in extreme greed at the time of this publish. So we'll see what it is tomorrow if we get a little bit of a sell-off move. But looking over here at the market cap right now, was at 3.5, still at 3.5, $3 trillion, volume up about 14.9% in the past 24 hours. I don't even go off of that dominance there because that dominance is no good. We use the one on TradingView. Looking looking here at the daily right now, you can see IOTA up 45.2%. HBAR is up 29.7%. Maker still making some moves, guys, up 13.3%. We talked about this a while back on the show. So they had a big rebranding, big project reshuffle on how they were doing stuff. It's up 13.3. Algo up 13.2. ONDO and VET up 29 and 22 respectively there. Sand is up 14%. So a lot of big moves. Oh, look there. PopCat 11.9. FD White. Look at that. Bitcoin currently sitting at $94,300, down 2.1%. It's not that big of a sell-off, guys. It's very minor. 2.1% is nothing. Ethereum down 2.9%, sitting still holding above $3,500 there. Solana is at number 5, down 3.7%, continuing to see some sell-off pressure on Solana after a massive run. Doge down 6.1%, just under 40 cents at 39.7 cents. Any movers? Toncoin moved back up to number 12 from number 13. Shiba Inu has given up that number 12 position and dropped down. They're down 6.8% for Shiba Inu, down 2.8% for Tron. For Toncoin, I mean, Tron is up 10.5%. Look at that. Avalanche. I think Avalanche is getting ready to pop off, in my opinion. Maybe have OC take a look at that chart today. I just think Avalanche is getting ready to make its move here soon. Chainlink up 10.9%, moving it up another position to number 15, taking it away from Polkadot, who was up 6%. And then the HBAR guys up 29%, moving up to number 17 in the top 20. It's there, man. It's holding. SWI is up 12.4%, moving up to number 18. And then Litecoin is holding that number 20 position there, while Bitcoin Cash has dropped down 2 positions to number 19. Near Protocol has moved up to number 21, up 2 positions now. It is up 3%. And that is your top 20 there with the competitors for that 20 mark. But guys, if we come over here and we take a look at the date, at the hourly, you can see we're starting to get a lot of red on here now, taking away a lot of those gains. Overall, though, still holding well on that daily. Let's talk about the economic calendar. And let's get into that. Guys, looking here on the 2 impact. Got to do a 2 impact. Why? It's doing it to me again, people. Hold one. Hold steady, and I'll get that fixed for you. Economic calendar. Back into here again. There we go. Here we go. Back again. Put that on 2. There. Perfect. Good job. JOLTS Job Openings are going to be coming out today, 8 o'clock here in about 15 minutes, guys. The JOLTS Job Openings, if you don't know what those are, it's the number of job openings in the United States at any given moment. These are non-seasonal jobs. It refers to all positions that are open, not filled, in the last business day of the month. Job openings are part of the Job Openings and Labor Turnover Survey, JOLTS, okay? So that's going to be coming at the top of the hour. Was at 7.4 million job openings. They're expecting 7.44, I should say. They're looking at to be 7.48, 7.38. One of those would be higher. One of those would be lower. Which one is it? Flip a coin. We'll find out here in about 15 minutes. So we'll come back and talk about that the rest of the day. A couple of Fed speakers going on. Nothing major there. Tomorrow, though, we are going to get ISM services, and then Fed Powell is going to be speaking tomorrow at 11:45 my time. That is going to be 1:45 p.m. on the East Coast there. Thursday, nothing major. Exports, balance of trade, initial jobless claims. Next big one, non-farm payrolls and the unemployment rate on Friday, November 6th. As of right now, we do have a consensus that we could have a higher unemployment rate moving from 4.1 to 4.2. So all eyes on Friday this week after we get through the JOLTS job openings today. What else do we have in here that I wanted to talk about? You guys can see here on CNBC Pro, we do have the Dow Jones currently down right now 0.24% at the market open. S&P down 0.08%. The NASDAQ holding barely above in the green at 0.07%, I should say. And the Russell 2K, that is your small cap stocks down, up 0.04%. The VIX getting that green volatility. I told you guys when we see this, it can play hell on the market. VIX is up 2.17% today. MicroStrategy. No, we'll save that. We'll see if anything comes up about that. It's basically just saying that it can ignore a bear market price crash to $20,000. According to research that was done, MicroStrategy's Bitcoin exposure is higher than ever as it buys billions more. He just bought more at like $95,000 or something. But according to this, they could see a decline all the way down to like 18,000 right there. It needs to fall to $18,826 in order for MicroStrategy's assets to be worth less than their liabilities. So, yeah, if it comes up, we'll talk about that. But that is what we have today for your news, guys. FD, first off, let's talk about bear market bottoms, $18,000 Bitcoin. Do you think we'll ever see an $18,000 Bitcoin again?
Ooh, man, never say never. Never say never, but
what is the likelihood? If you had to put a percentage likelihood,
you put me on the spot.
What would you put it at?
Put me on the spot. 11%.
11%. I see you're in the same ballpark I'm in. I think it's a very, very, very low likelihood that we ever see an $18,000 Bitcoin again, especially with the buying pressure that absorbs up so much of the sell-off. Like every time it pulls back, there's a massive buy pressure and just pulls it right back in. So yeah, I don't see it happen. I think MicroStrategies is pretty safe right now. Now, the MicroStrategy share price, that's based on sentiment. I don't know that that's safe. It could easily pull back, but I don't think that it would last very long because I think MicroStrategies position themselves well for their liabilities and the valuation of their assets. So, FD, you got your chart ready? What are you seeing on the Bitcoin chart? Oracle FD, what you got for us, bro?
Man, so I'm kind of keeping it simple, and I'm keeping these. I need to come up with a name for these lines. Crypto Face got spider lines, and a couple other people got some type of lines. But these lines are just lines that I pulled from like swing highs and swing lows, and they've been pretty consistent for the most part. So what I'm looking for right now, that's my son in the background playing. If anybody hears him, I'll tell him to be quiet in a second. But I'm looking at this area here. So we need to get back above this 95. This is my line. This 95.6 to 95,008 level is what I want to flip back into support. We've come down, took out this high here, came down for this liquidity grab here at about 93.6. Seems like we're getting a small little bounce if we zoom in. Let's actually zoom into the 15-minute to see what I'm looking at, and then we can pretty much go from there. So yesterday we were looking at this. I didn't want it to play out, but it obviously played out. This bear planet, bear flag, rising wedge, whatever you want to call it. Well, we'll just call it rising wedge. Came to the top, hit our head here, and we got rejected. Came all the way back down to this 94.5, and then inevitably lost that. So that's the first level we need to get back to. This $95,000 area, 95.8. So right now, I'm kind of sitting on my hands when it comes to Bitcoin. Bitcoin dominance has rolled over. It's lost a huge uptrend that we've been in since the FTX debacle. So a lot of these things right now that I'm looking at are altcoins. But for Bitcoin, let's actually zoom back out and see my major levels that I'm looking at. We do have on the 4-hour, we do have the RSI prime going down on the chart prime oscillator. My first level that I will be looking at coming in is this green bar here, and this is coming in at about 92,300. Then we do have one of my lines that I have to name coming in at about 90,600. We lose that, I think we're going to move swiftly down to about 85K. And then we did, like you talked about, have that CME gap coming in at about 77 to 78K. So it's just, these are the levels that I'm looking at, the major levels that I'm looking at. I'm not really trying to long anything right here unless we like get down here. That'll be like a major area, a major long that I will look at. But right now I'm sitting on my hands when it comes to Bitcoin unless we flip this $95,700 level, or unless we go down to the CME gap, which would be, I think you said 22% from where we are now. Hopefully we don't go down there. But once we reclaim that, and then we reclaim this broadening ascending wedge or whatever it's called, I think that's coming in at about 99. So that's almost coming in at the all-time high. So all-time high, I'm still targeting about 107 to 109, possibly 110. But we just have to get back into this channel here. So it's just really simple for me right now. I'm really not looking at any indicators like that. I'm really just price action and looking at price levels to reclaim or lose, and then I'll make my analysis from those movements. So I'm being really reactive right now. Really reactive.
Yeah, I think you should call those lines white lines. Pay some homage back to an old 70s song. And then, you can actually sample that little clip under 7 seconds and you can play white lines when you talk about your little phase lines there. There you go.
Oh, I
There you go.
Baseline.
I got you. I got you. I got you, man. Hey, shout out to Retro Mike Tech. I just saw he dropped a super chat to me and said, "See, I can support the morning market show too." $4.99 super chat. I appreciate you, Retro Mike. I was just giving you crap last night, man. Much love to you. You are a family friend here on the show. Looks like Dano Crypto. I think I saw someone tag Dano Crypto in here too. So shout out to Dano Crypto joining us also. OC, what are you seeing on your Bitcoin chart? Then I want to come back around because I'm seeing a little bounce here on this chart, on this candlestick on the 4-hour, doing a little bit of pullback up, which we were just talking about. The institutional money is just waiting. The bulls are just waiting for this thing to come into its scope, and as soon as it does, they're buying it up. So what are you seeing on your chart? And then let's come back. Let's jump into altcoins. White lines, don't do it. Love it. But yeah, we got to talk about the alts. What's up, FD?
Before we move on, yeah, Dano, that's my guy, man. Dano, he's over from the Moon channel as well. So shout out to Dano Crypto, man. He'll be a good guest to get on the channel too. Very knowledgeable.
We've actually tried to work that out several times, back and forth. Me going on his show, him coming on mine. We just never seem to match up. We're like always inverted, you know. Like I don't know. It's just we can't line up. But yeah, Dano Crypto, great dude. Like him a lot. So OC, what do you got on your chart? Let's talk about that. Let's come back and let's do some alt talk. We got to talk about this alt season.
Absolutely. So yesterday I did had a chance to jump to the class on Chart Prime. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you can go watch it on my YouTube channel. It's a free class for everybody. We do it there, and then we published it for everybody to have. But here's the thing: we were looking at a little bit of a ranging here, right? And I was just looking at these couple of like a double top-ish looking like thing, right? And then we also lost the zero line here. So being below the zero line, there was two possibilities here. First of all, of course, we know that we're losing momentum, but the second of all is that we are back inside my box in here. This is a box of support that I usually try to buy in. I usually try to catch the bottom of that box, and that usually has played out very, very, very nicely, right? So I have plan A and plan B. Plan A was a reversal like this, right? So as you can see, it's basically playing out. And then just so you know, guys, plan B, it is the break to the upside, going for the retest. That was my plan B. And then plan C is just a bullish continuation. So it seems like the plan A, so that's why I'm going to be removing this one here for now. Looks like plan A, it is working its way out at this point, but might be just moving faster than I was expecting. So just the end goal here, it is assuming that we could be having a set of higher lows in the momentum. And if we start seeing that one, well, then my next would have been at a flip of the ribbon. We don't still have the flip of the ribbon yet, but seems like we want to have it soon, all right? So I might just be waiting just for a little bit in here, maybe not rushing it too much in here. And also look at this little line that I have coming in strong. Let me just Control-C that. And if I turn on my indicators, that is a dynamic reactor where I think it's going to be where I forecast it, or where I think it's going to be at, right? So as you can see right now, let me just close everything. We're having a little bit of a weakening here. If not everything is said and done, but if we close this week like this one, well, then let me show you a couple of other examples here. Look at down here. Look at down here. Right, so it is a good signal to have one of those candles. And then if we see that flip of the ribbon, I think we're still in for a very nice December. And we most probably, we're going to be hitting some very nice highs. Let me see if I have it here turned on. I don't know why it's not showing at this point, but what I'm trying to get here, by the way, guys, it is my predictive ranges. So lately, trading view is being overload. So I'm not putting my hands in the fire for trading view, by the way. But if you see that you're having some bugs or something, give it a little bit of a refresh, or in the worst case scenario, completely close your browser and then reopen it. That might help with those. Yes, man. I mean, it's been so buggy lately. So there we go. As you can see, now they're loading. And as you can also tell, I'm aiming at my golden line here of predictive ranges 12 hours for the next TP, 99.76, and then 107, 567, or 107,567. So hopefully we do have that on Christmas, and that will depend for the next high that we do with the flip of the even. So that's what I got, Piper. Plan A and plan B.
Shakalaka!
Boom shakalaka. Good TA. Hey, guys, just real fast, I want to shout out Trade Intuition. If you guys don't know, he hosts Trade Academy here on Piper Academy Network every day at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, teaching everyone how to trade. Just the simple addition of support, resistance, trend line, so on and so forth, and then sprinkles in a little bit of the power chart prime on top of there and gives some great trade setups. So shout out to him. He did this. He did this banner for us. We have a new banner here on our YouTube. And you can see there, Piper Academy Network, and with all of our layout there, 7 a.m. Good Morning Crypto with BC Port Corp, 8:30 p.m. at night, the Crypto Nightcap. I guess I should go chronologically, huh? 9:30 a.m. the Morning Market Report there, 4 p.m. Trade Academy, 8:30 p.m. Crypto Nightcap with FD White, who's a guest today, and TradeFly, and then 11 p.m. Markets After Dark. I got to talk about Markets After Dark, though, guys. Look at this. Markets After Dark. This is Lunar Beach's Crypto's Night Show. 665 views on his video last night talking about HBAR. And then over here, highest monthly close, XRP skyrockets. He's breaking the algorithm. 728 views from him on that show. So shout out to Lunar Beach's Crypto. Shout out to Trade Intuition. Shout out to BC Port Corp. And TradeFly, FDY, OC Guy. You guys are crushing it here with all the shows that everyone's creating. So 5 shows a day here on the channel. And then in the chat right now, shout out to Alex O Crypto. The gang, Otter gang just hit the stream here. So guys, drop those otters in the chat. Shout out to Otter joining us. Alex O, man. All right. FD White, we got 99 viewers right now. We need these people to smash the like button, and they'll probably do it if you throw them some amazing altcoin. TA, why do you watch it on the altcoin side? Let's jump over to your chart, bro.
So I just opened a SUI trade, and SUI got back into this range. We lost this. Let me actually make this a little bit bigger so we can see it. So SUI, there we go. SUI, we lost this uptrend that we were in since we started this at the beginning of November. So I was really watching it. Had a deviation here, got back above it, another deviation here, which, 2 deviations now, I kind of get a little bit weary, but we reclaimed it, and that's very, very bullish. We also have this range here coming in at the top, which is looks like it's probably the all-time high, coming in at about $3.94, and then we have this the bottom of the range coming in at $3.58. So we literally just reclaimed it not too long ago. So what I'm looking at right now is I would zoom in. And so for me to get an entry, looks like we're having nice major wicks. So this will be a little bit. So I want to continue to hold this $3 and we'll say $3.60 level. We're at 386 right now, so we're looking good. So kind of we're in no man's land right now for this trade. So what I would do for this trade, or to get in something in SUI right now, of course, we will be looking for a breakout of this range that we're in. Especially go back to the 4-hour. So I'll be looking to break the top side of this range, which will put us back in price discovery mode. Or price discovery for SUI. And SUI has been taking a break for like the past week and letting some of the legacy coins, letting some of the legacy layer ones run. So now it looks like it's taking a little bit of the shine back, taking a little bit of the liquidity back into SUI. So, basically in a bull run, I'm a breakout retest trader, and we're on a 4-hour. So of course I'll be looking for something like this, probably a break of $4, which is also a psychological level, a retest on a smaller time frame, maybe like the 15-minute hourly, and then for us to continue to move up into price discovery mode. So there we go. Boom. So SUI is on my radar for today. Hopefully we can continue this move, or if we just start ranging and just continue to range, that's okay too, because it was just something or a matter of getting back into this range that we lost decisively. And, I love to reclaim. That's one of my claims to fame, is the reclaim, that rhyme. So I love to reclaim ranges like this. So even if we start bouncing in between here, I think that's very bullish for SUI. And I think SUI is going to have another massive run very soon. We've been seeing these major runs in altcoins. SUI had its major run, took a break. We have some more. Like I said, now I think SUI is about to probably get its second leg or its second nice little run. So I'm trying to position myself for this. So it'll just be a basic, breakout retest trade and put my stop somewhere down in the $3.70, $3.75 range. Kind of keep it tight. And even if we come back down and get stopped out in a bull run, you can, swing for the fences, 2 or 3 times, because then that one that you hit, that home run that you hit will will definitely take up for the ones that you miss. So that's my strategy on SUI. Just very, very basic. And I've been making a nice amount of money with just this very, very basic strategy. But it only works in a bull run in altcoin season. You know, bear market, we talked about this earlier. Bear market, these strategies, you got to be a little bit more in tune, a little bit more strategic when it comes to those trades. Take profits very, way quicker. But now you can just you catch one of these, you let it run, and watch your P&L go up. So that's what I'm looking at for SUI. So shout out to those who was holding SUI. A lot of people sold. A lot of people sold and went over to coins that were pumping. A lot of people sold SUI to go into XRP. Now XRP is pulling back and SUI's running. So a lot of times you just have to hold that coin and just wait for its turn to come back around.
Absolutely, yeah. It's and I see this happen all the time. And let me drop a 1 in the chat if you guys have done this. You had a token that you've been holding and holding and holding, and it does nothing. And it almost seems like within a week of you going, you know what, I'm going to move some of the token out of this over to this token that's moving. And within a week or two, the token that was moving that you moved to stops moving. And the token that you got out of that wasn't moving skyrockets in that rotation because a little bit of lack of patience. So yeah, sometimes patience. So drop a 1 in the chat if that's happened to you. You guys, I know I did it. I did it with a couple of tokens, but what I moved it into still made some gains, just not what it would have been if I had just had a little bit more patience, right? So let's go over, let's take a look at ONDO, and then we'll come back, let OC take a look at some altcoins, see what he's seeing there on his charts. Guys, I'm watching ONDO right now, and I do want to check something. You can see here we had this nice little move, came down almost into the green cloud here. We did get a reversal on the ribbon here, and it started to the upside, and then bam, it just took off. Now, to take this back in time a little bit for you, we were talking about this here on the Piper Academy morning show, this trend line back here. And I said, guys, we've had multiple resistances on this trend line all the way back to June of 2024. So June of this year. And then when we broke it, I said, look for a retest. Guys, the OC retest was right there in our green cloud. We had turned it back to green. We started coming up, came down, tested into it, tested that trend line and the 3D trend cloud. That started this entire run. Now, mind you, we did have some pullbacks back here, but overall, any time that you would have gotten out of that breakout, you would have been in a good setup all the way to the top. Now, what I want to do here is I've got a nice, let me get rid of some of this Mexican spaghetti off the chart. There we go. I do have this nice fat fib strategy that I do. So let me go push this on here. We're going to line this up to the bottom of this wick here. Nope, that is not the wick. That is not the wick. You are not the right one. Up to the top here. And what we're looking for is, once I go in here and I set this up on my fib strategy setup, we are looking for this to come down into the golden pocket. And if not, then we go off of the 382. That's why it's white, but this is your prime zone. This is your secondary. What I typically do on this is a primary entry if it comes down to that after a pullback, and then a secondary entry in the golden pocket. And then we shoot for targets. Our first target here is going to be the 0 line. That's at $1.82. So half of a trade would be in on this on ONDO right now if I had gotten in on this trade. The second target we're looking at is the negative 382. That's going to be $2.09. This is where you would take out, profit 1, take profit 2, 25%, 25%. 25% would be the negative 0.618. That's going to be $2.25. Your Hail Mary, though, is all the way up here at $2.94, and that's where you leave your last 25%. I talk about this strategy sometimes in our trade group on the Discord, so if you're not in that, you guys are missing out. Check out the link below. I'm sure Alexander G is about to drop a beautiful link down there for that. So, but yeah, that's the targets that I would be watching on ONDO right now. Let's go and put this onto a side-by-side, and let's see how the RSI is looking here on the 4-hour, because we could still get a little bit of a pullback here. You can see on, let me get this lined up. Can you do that? There we go. Perfect. Thank you very much. And we'll get this one lined up. Now they look matchy-matchy. I like it that way. You can see here we are getting a pink ribbon here on the 4-hour for the Oscillator Pro. We do have the over boxes, so it's now starting to come down. Money flow starting to get a little flat. The True 7's coming down, okay? Volume still looks good, though. But we take a look over here. You see this nice little small, this is the RSI prime. This is an RSI turned into, it's this one right here, this oscillator. It is an RSI turned into candlesticks that I have turned into Heikin-Ashi candles. I don't typically use Heikin-Ashi on the top part of the chart, but I do use it on the RSI primed. This is the free indicators. Type in RSI primed with a D at the end. You will find this, and you can turn it on to Heikin-Ashi. When we start to get these small Heikin-Ashi candles printing here, we do get pullbacks. So we had that right there. We were above the daily Bollinger Band on this right side chart. We did pull back, gave us a nice little cool off. We're starting to get another small candle here again. So I would not be surprised to see this pull back a little more into the top of this Bollinger Band again. It is very overbought, so be very careful right now, guys. But right now, as it stands, I think we might just get a little pullback, which this may have been already done with this big wick here, and we may come back to test about the 50% line here. That'd be about $1.60 is what I'm going to say, and then that would give us another move to the upside. Give this a chance to cool off too, because you can see it does not take very far of a pullback to get this to cool off a lot on an RSI primed indicator. So looking at this right now, you can see we did have a nice squeeze down here on the Bollinger Bands before we went up. We're starting to get another squeeze, and now they're opening up again. So we'll see where this lands at and when it comes back, but I do think that we will have a little bit of a continuation to the upside and then go sideways to give a lot of these oscillators time to cool back off. There is one more thing I wanted to check here. Let's turn this off, go back to the single scope, and then I want to come over here and let's turn on the Market Dynamics Pro. Yeah, we do have a rising channel here. That's what I was wondering. And we did get a confirmed breakout on that. Let's go and put that on a measured move, because right now it's on a smart move. There we go. Come down here, and we've got big, small, smart target, measured target. There we go. And then I want to throw on the predictive ranges here. We'll put this on the 12-hour and see how that looks, because I like to use these on the 12-hour for the predictive ranges. Okay, yeah, so looking at the predictive ranges, we did get rejected off here on the top band there. Guys, this could be going up for another breakout again, and then that would pretty much make this your average. Your gold bands would be here. Put this back on that 4-hour, and we'll see how that looks. And maybe that's going to give us a little bit more in line with where we are currently. 4-hour, go back into there. Let's see this. Okay, yeah, we're at the, we're just now getting a break above the lower gold band. So guys, the target on this here, that would be all the way up to $2.15 that we would be looking at there. So just off of the predictive ranges, because typically we trade in between the two gold bands. If we get above this and retest here, I would be looking at a long on the retest of $1.75. Once we retest there, we would be shooting for a target of $2.15. And that's what I'm watching on ONDO right now. OC, let's kick it over to you. Let's see what you're looking at on your chart for an altcoin, and then we'll come back and talk a little bit.
Absolutely. You asked me to look at AVAX, right? So let's take a look at AVAX in here. Something interesting, it is that it hasn't had its explosive movement, but I think that we might be having a retracement before we see that, and that's because how many other things have been playing out. In fact, let me take on, for example, JASMY, that also was requested on the chat. Let me just do a quick glance of it. Look at how after the range that we were looking and talking about, after we hit the median range in here, we absolutely broke it. Remember, it's not about the breakout, it's about the retest, and then off we go, right? But on AVAX, kind of like, I mean, did we had it? Sort of, right? I mean, yes, of course, we had the breakout retest and then the parabolic movement, but I think this is much more, JASMY is much more aggressive than AVAX. And yes, I know that is because it has to do with the market cap, right? The only thing that I'm aiming at this point, and that's what I had to bring this up, it is, for example, let's take a look at our support and resistances. At this point, we are fighting onto a resistance, and that is to be expected because that is not only the previous support area, but also the previous high area right down here. So what I would be doing, it is also throwing a ray somewhere around here, and this is the area that I'm going to be expecting us to jump in for a further move into that area there. This is something also that we need to keep an eye on here. It is that we have had what I would like to see on Bitcoin, which is higher lows, right? But at this point, we have maxed out a little bit in here, and this is what I'm expecting, a big retrace to break out structure on the oscillator right down here, and hopefully hold the zero line for it to be just a fake out and then come back up to the top. And this, my friends, this is what I'm going to be expecting for that pullback to the dynamic reactor and crash it above taking above previous highs. This is the movement that I'll be expecting. So plan A would be slowly breaking through and then making something like that. Plan B will be going for the retracement, entry point and 40.29, and then off we go. By the way, plan A is what I think is most likely is going to be happening. So let's just do it like that, plan A. But plan B is the one that I rather have. It is the one that is going to get me the most excited, right? So that's what I got on AVAX, Avalanche. Let me do a quick JASMY just to finalize this one. Guys, if you're trying to jump in JASMY, if I'm in your place, I would not be chasing after JASMY. Not because I don't like it, not because anything else other than, well, we have a take profit check mark, and also we are on previous highs, right? We also are maxing out here. Can we still go higher? Absolutely, especially since we're having, yep.
Real fast on that, while you're talking about JASMY, I want to show something real fast on that. Check this out. I was just looking here. Oh, that's FD White. What's up, FD? How you doing, bro? I was just looking here at all-time high cryptocurrency price list, and you brought up JASMY, so I had to bring it in here. Guys, if you don't know what this website is, it tells you what percentage you are on each asset from its all-time high. For example, Bitcoin is 4.62%. But if you go in here, set this from 1 to 100, and then click on the percentage to high, you'll see the furthest away from its all-time high right now is JASMY, which means this has the highest risk to reward that you can make on the top 100 right now. It's 13,000%, excuse me, 13,000% away from its all-time high set in February of 2021. So if that does pull back and gives a nice reset, that would be one that you know, a little bit of money will go a long way on risk to reward. So also on this list, ICP, Filecoin, Sand, IOTA. So some of the ones that we're seeing today that are really moving are on this list right now. So I just wanted to point that out. Let's go back to your chart though.
Absolutely. So yeah, like you mentioned, the highest risk to reward, right? So guys, this is also the highest risk, also highest possible reward. So as Piper mentioned, I think allocation of little by little will be advisable. Not that that is a financial advice at all, right? So the thing here is that we already have a taking profit here, and we have two options here. We either correct over time, which is maybe a little range, could be a downwards range, which is what I would like to see. Why? Because it is a slightly tilted downward range. This will create something like a bull flag, right? Whichever pole you want to pick. Let's just pick this one here and then aim it to whatever I think we could be heading to. And the next point is going to be 0.05. That will be a possible best case scenario increasement of something like, let's just 60.54%. Come on. But that, guys, that has to do with the market cap, right? Because of the volatility also. So the thing is here, it is, I would say that we are on a waiting zone. We still need to see how is this going to be developing. I mean, once again, could it keep going higher? Absolutely. Absolutely. But I think the smartest play here will be waiting for JASMY to release his hand to kind of lay down what pattern is he trying to build up. Look at your momentum right down here, and based on that momentum, well, then take your next action. Piper was talking about also about the RSI Prime. Man, What a great tool in here. And it's free, by the way. So let's just take a look at every single time that we were below here, right? Or at base. So look at that beautiful entry, right? Right here, beautiful entry. Right here, beautiful entry. Right on, right? So what are we going to be waiting for? Well, I would be guessing at least a visit of the median line in here, because every single time that we do that time over or correction over time, it's also a good moment to, or a good opportunity to jump in into the middle of a trend, right? So remember that there's trends between trends. And look at that, going up, slight correction, right? Then boom. So going up, if we have that slight correction, guess what? Then boom. So just keep an eye on these two. Whenever you start seeing then change of color or at least a range, prepare yourself for big support areas, and then also just do your trigger based on the flip of the ribbon, either there or right there at support. That's what I got both on AVAX and JASMY.
Awesome, dude. Yeah. So shout out to Kyle Fields. He said that all-time high adjusted for the current supply would be better. Yeah. One thing that I do on that is I look at the 24-hour volume. We made a call about 2 weeks ago, OC and I did, off of that chart on where ADA was at, XRP was at, Filecoin. There was a bunch of other ones, XLM, that we talked about on the bottom of that list. And Polkadot was on there. And like, look how far these things are off. And when people look at a chart and you've got a high that's way up here, well, I guess this way would be way up here, and where the current price is down here, a lot of people just see, oh, this thing has a lot of upside that it can move. They don't look at all the other metrics. So yeah, there are better metrics to look at. But when you look at sentiment is what moves the markets 90% of the time. And so when people see that chart saying, look where it can be, look where it's at, then they jump into those assets typically. So if you see that 24-hour volume, which is over here on the right side of this chart, if you see that start to get a flip and you've got that set up where something's far off from its all-time high, it can be a good little way to just throw a little bit of money in it. So that's why I use that, just to clarify. But there are much better metrics. You're absolutely right, Kyle. FD, let's talk about, we got about 12 minutes here. I want to go over and talk about this economic data that just came in, because we did get some information on this, guys. And then I want to, talk about the altcoin cycle. Let's talk about that when we come back. Jumping over here to the economic calendar, guys, top of the hour, we got those JOLTS job openings. This might be the reason that we saw that pump pull up there in those on those candlesticks, guys. We were at 7.37 million previously. No revision. Did not get a revision on this number, guys. We came in at 7.74 million. We were expected to be 7.4, 7.3. A lot more job openings hitting the market right now, according to the JOLTS Job Openings report. A lot more jobs than expected. About 300,000 more jobs this month than what they expected to be there. That means that there are good amount of new jobs being offered for labor force strength and the labor market strength. And that might be why we saw that pump that happened about 20 minutes ago, pulling that candlestick back up. Just wanted to touch on that because fundamental macro, that matters right there. That's it. Macro. There's your macro move. So FD,
Yeah.
we know that this cycle, Bitcoin moves, it does its thing, right? You get your ETH movement there, and then you get the altcoin cycle, and then that money makes a lot of money, right? Matter of fact, we got a poll going today talking about that, right? You get that movement of that money from alts, and then it typically goes back into Bitcoin again. That's how a lot of people play it. They play the alts to make some money to put back into Bitcoin, because Bitcoin's what they really want at the end, right? How long? Because historically, alt seasons are pretty short-lived. How long do you think this alt season happens? When do we start to flip around and put this money back into Bitcoin to have a green month? Because historically, when you had a green November at this point of the 4-year cycle, you have a green December and a green January. When does this money start to flow back into Bitcoin? How much longer do we have on the alt season right now, in your opinion?
Good question, man. That's a good question. 2 weeks.
2 weeks. So Santa rally coming for Bitcoin.
Yes, Santa rally, I think, is going to come for Bitcoin. Just the seasonal, just back when you look at history, especially in those halving years, man. Santa rally is sort of like a real thing. You can't deny history. So I think in a couple of weeks we'll probably start to see Bitcoin. Bitcoin dominance has been coming down. Looks like it's coming up a little bit, but I don't know if we're going to get back up to that, 61%.
You got that chart up? You want to talk? You
Oh,
want to show that?
yeah, I can definitely show what I'm looking at for Bitcoin dominance. And this is by no means how anything is going to play out, but it's just really what I'm seeing for Bitcoin dominance. So let me make that a little bit smaller. So this is what we started this uptrend during the FTX collapse. I mean, we bottomed out, and even as this is what people fail to realize, even as we were coming down in 2020 and 2021, Bitcoin was still going up, and the altcoins were just outperforming Bitcoin. That's basically what this means. So just because Bitcoin dominance is coming down doesn't mean Bitcoin is going to come down, tremendously as well. So we bottomed out right here around let's move this up around 39, 40%. We can say, and then we got the FTX collapse, was basically marked the bottom, and then we started to go up from there, and then we lost this uptrend, we lost this channel, and we came up, retested it, and now we coming down. And I was saying, I don't know if we reclaim this channel or if we have broken down from there permanently, but I am expecting some sort of a higher or a lower high, so to say. So maybe this is the start of the lower high for Bitcoin dominance to come up, and then we start to roll back over. I think once we get into the mid 40s, that's when the real altcoin season is going to be here. And that's the part that's not going to last long. I mean, back here it lasted. It was very quick for the altcoin season last cycle. So I'm thinking we get a higher low or a lower high rather for Bitcoin dominance, and then we start to come back down. But this lower high is what I think is going to be the Santa rally, and then going into the beginning of Q1 is when the real altcoin season is going to start. So that's my base case. I'm not trying to predict. I'm not trying to foresee the future, but that's what I can see happening for Bitcoin and Bitcoin dominance and altcoins. And that's just how I'm still a reactive trader, but this is just one of the scenarios, or my top scenario that I'm going to look at. And back to the JOLTS job openings, I don't mean to retract, but I think a lot of that is because Trump is in. So I think a lot of companies are like, oh, okay, maybe the economy will do better. I don't know if it's doing better just
or
this month, or they're just foreseeing the current state of the economy getting better, so they can like, okay, now we can just hire because we think he's going to come in and save the economy. But I don't think it's just something that we.
It could also be Trump. It could also be Trump scaring some companies, going, "Hey, you want to pay tariffs, or do you want to bring jobs back to the states and produce here?" Could be some of that too. You never know. You never know. I'd have to dig into that report and see what was being what jobs they posted. But yeah, that could be it too. But definitely think it's Trump related. Yeah, good call on that one. So. Interesting you showed that Bitcoin dominance chart with the channel, because I've got another one here that I want to show real fast. This is from Kush Alamzada. I butchered it. I know I did. But he said the last two times that dominance chart presented with this setup, Bitcoin doubled. So let's go back here and look historically. You can see here, and he's looking at this on a weekly chart here, but you can see where we come down here and touch on this channel here. Whoa, stop that, sir. You can see where we had this touch on this channel here, and then price doubled from there. You can see the little range there. Back here, we had it where it came down. Nice little pump rally. Then second one here, 2x to the upside. We're touching that one again right now on the weekly for Bitcoin dominance. So it is interesting that as we're pulling down to the bottom of this, alts are kicking off. But historically, when we've touched this range on dominance, Bitcoin saw a 2x following that period of time. And if we jump over to this chart here, this is your average returns monthly here. And you can see 2024 is where we are now. We had a green November, currently down 1.5% on December. But if you take a look and go down to forward back, that would be 2020, because 2021 was the market top. 2025 should be the market top. Look at 2020. We had a nice 42.9% month in November, 46.9 in December, came back in and hit January, February, March, all to the green upside there in quarter one. Go back 4 years from that, that would be 2016, green November, green December. This one resulted in a almost stagnant neutral month for January, but then February rocketed off again. And then back from 2016, that would be 2020 2012. We don't have that on here to really give you an average. But looking at the past cycles here of November performance in this point of the halving year, right? We do typically have a green December, and 50% of the time we've had a green January, but Q1 has been very bullish following that overall. So a doubling of the of Bitcoin's price based on that Bitcoin dominance would put us in line with what we're seeing in the months ahead for December, January, February, so on and so forth. Could be setting us up for a really nice Christmas Santa rally right into Q1 of the year. So interesting there. OC, what are you watching on your chart right now? We'll let you finalize it out with another good run, unless FD, you got something that you wanted to show today on the show?
I got Toncoin really quick, 2 minutes, or not even 2 minutes.
All right, we'll jump over. We'll do you, and we'll come back to OC, and then we'll head out of here. Let's go over to.
Okay, yeah. So right now, what I'm looking at, let me see here. Let me go to the 4 hour. So Toncoin is on my radar for this level here, this $7 level. This is the level that I'm looking at to break. We got up to this level a couple of days ago. I think that was, let me move this out the way. I think that was Friday. Was it Friday and Saturday? Double topped here, got rejected. So as long as we're holding above, I think this $6.08 area, I think we're pretty good. But this is the line that I'm really trying to break. This is coming in from May, June, end of June, July, August, all of this. Then we came over here in August again, kept getting rejected, couldn't get back above here. Finally got rejected very hard. Now we're coming back to retest this, to flip this as support. So, and even if I pull, let's go from the top of the market and I pull, to the bottom of the market, this is coming in, the 618 golden pocket is coming in as resistance. So we just want to flip this area, this $66.90 area to $7 area. And I think we can start to talk about those cycle highs again at about $8.28 and beyond. I think Toncoin is going to do fairly well. I think it's going to be one of them coins. Once we flip this, it's going to have a significant move to the upside, maybe 20, 30, 40%. So be watching out for that area there for Toncoin, just to keep it on your radar.
Awesome. OC, what do you got for us, bro?
Absolutely. I wanted to talk about one of my biggest flops of history on my trading history. This is HIVE, guys. And here's something important. First of all, talking about how far could it go, right? What Piper was talking about here. So if you take a look at HIVE, you might be seeing, hey, you know what? This one's still pretty good for a bull run. That it could be an 883%, 82, guys. But guys, remember this, we're talking about a flop of mine, right? And that is not because still have that growing room means that it is going to be growing. This indicates how well was it performing there then, and this indicates how bad was this development, what did hold, right? Something important to notice, while Bitcoin was doing its bull run and everything else was also mooning, this damn thing was or kept going downwards, right? So this is a good moment to, or a good opportunity to do just classical TA, a good, let me just clear this up, a good trend line I think will be worth just drawing here. And I'm skipping the very top of this so we can grab as many highs as we can, right? So as you can see right now, we are on the verge of breaking a trend line. And as long as we can make it all the way up here, guys, please do not buy tops. So well, then I'll be out at zero on my flop, right? I just don't want to end it up like that. So let's take a look at ARB here. ARB had an amazing run on the daily. Let's go to the 4 hour. I will be looking for a re-entry opportunity here, and that is because just like we saw on the previous coins, that we are maxing out in this zone. We're still above the zero line here, but the dynamic reactor coming strong closer here. Also, we have all of the rest of the reactors here, and we also have a strong trend line playing out in that area. Also, we have a liquidity zone right down there. So I will be waiting for a possible pullback, trying to figure out if we're bouncing from the zero line or lower, and also just completing or re-entering as we break through this area. So this is what I could be expecting on ARB. Just keep your eyes peeled and do not enter until you have confirmation, not financial advice. Other than that, guys, I'll turn it back to you.
Awesome. Yeah. Shout out to Alexander G dropping that link. FD, you got a busy day today. You got a live stream this evening with you. Well, first of all, you were on Carl the Moon Show this morning. Then you're here today, and then this evening you're going to be on Crypto Nightcap for a very short show, and then you're going to be going right over to this right here with the Billy Goat Tells AMA with the Crypto Nightcaps dynamic duo TradeFly and FD White Invest on Billy Goat Tells tonight. My reminder is set. That's going to be tonight at 7 p.m. my time, 9 p.m. on the East Coast. Make sure you guys tune in for that right after the Crypto Nightcap show here on the Piper Academy Network. So the dynamic duo of the Nightcap show going to be on there tonight. Going to dropping some knowledge bombs there. I'm going to have some great questions for you guys. Trust me, I got questions for you. But yeah, that's all we got time for today, guys. We're at the bottom of the hour. Thank you for joining us here today, FD White. I appreciate your time, man. Anything for the people on your way out as they're watching with FOMO, with bad FOMO, these altcoins move? What's your advice to those people, man?
Oh man, so much opportunity in the market, man. If you miss one, there's definitely another. You just gotta, do the homework, do the research, and stay locked in and stay watching Piper Academy, man, because we got so much alpha, so many shows all around the clock. You're bound to find some type of gem in between there. So have a good morning. I'll see you guys a little bit later.
Awesome. Thanks, man. OC, we got we had that poll up. Oh, whoa, that's FD still there. Okay, I guess we'll go back over here. FD's everywhere. He's commandeered all the camera shots. We did have that poll up, guys, and I said, why do you buy altcoins? It turned out 63% said to make gains, period, not to buy more Bitcoin. That one was only 22%, and then 14% said they're degens and they gamble. So evidently we do not have a community of Bitcoin maxis at all. They just want to make that money. So there you go, guys. I appreciate it. So, all right, we'll hand it over to Randy Hipper Show. We're going to go over there, raid the frat house, see the frat house mom, guys. So make sure when you get over there, we're going to redirect automatically. Drop your graduation caps in there and let them know that the Piper Academy alumni are in the house, guys. We will be back here tomorrow morning, 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for the morning market report. Guys, don't forget, tune in today, 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Trade Academy with Trade Intuition. This evening, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, the Crypto Nightcap, and then follow them right on into the Billy Goat Tells at 9 p.m. on the East Coast. And then, of course, at that time period also, guys, you get what? What is it? At 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you're going to get Markets After Dark with LBC, evidently the #1 show on the Piper Academy Network. We'll catch you guys tomorrow morning right after the Good Morning Crypto Show with BC Port Corp. Until then, trade safe. And as always, guys, use a stop loss.
I don't know what they keep telling me. I don't know what they keep telling me. Ain't no school like Piper Academy. Ain't no school like Piper Academy. We'll keep that front line covered, even when we're dead and gone. We'll find a way to keep going, cause we gon' keep on rolling after the wheels fall off. I know you hungry for knowledge, that's profit appetite. Classes in session, this for the Army Piper acolytes. Trade flag at the soul train ready. What a line from OCI, from a Mexican spaghetti. Yo, crunch crypto with a deep dive to reject dime. And if you like the visual powered by Car Prime, then you were part of that alumni, that's all spine. But if you have, step fall back to offline. We'll keep that front line covered, even when we're dead and gone. We'll find a way to keep going, cause we gon' keep on rolling after the wheels fall off. Sound off.
To get with them, the ZTS rhythm. Rip it, Alexandra.
Yeah, that's my alumni, you know what I mean.
That was awesome, dude.